You have a responsibility. You can't just sit around and just listen to the truth, people exposing lies, and then not do nothing with it. You have a responsibility to do something with it. Okay? And I'm going to get into this. I'm going to do a video about this today. As long as you're listening to the truth and it's just sitting inside of you and you're not doing anything with it, you're going to start going crazy. Because the Most High has a calling for your life. He doesn't want you to hold that in. There's a responsibility. You know what I'm saying? You're going to go crazy. I'm telling you, you're going to go crazy. Anybody, you know how they say that somebody go crazy because he knows too much, he got too smart? That's not the case. I'm going to talk all about that today. That's not the case. You can't go, it seems that way. That seems like a reality. He went crazy because he knew too much. He got too smart. He knew too much of the world. No, it's because he knew too much of the world, but then he was scared to venture out. He was trying to hold on to, he was caring about people's opinions. He was caring about what he would say or she would say. You see what I'm saying? If you would look at Moses, think about Moses. Moses did something that you wouldn't expect him to do, that no one would expect him to do. Right? Think about Jesus. Jesus was walking around doing something that nobody would expect him to do. Feel me? He was. Think about Jeremiah. He was doing something that was out of the norm. Think about Noah. Noah. See, he knew something. He was intelligent. He was wise about something that most people weren't wise about. See? And if he would have ignored it, what the Most High called on him, then he would have went crazy too. You got to break out. And after a while, you got to break out and say, fuck it. I'm doing what the Most High put on my heart. I'm doing it. Because if you hold it in, Jeremiah tells you what happens when you try to hold it in. It comes bursting out of you anyway. And yes, you look crazy. You have an outburst. And you will snap. And you will do something that the Most High will punish you for. Because you should be doing that, not that. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be tripping right now. You shouldn't be arguing right now. You should be doing what I put on your heart. And it seems like you went crazy. That's what happens. That's exactly what happens. There's a lot of people in jail right now. They say they just lost it. They didn't lose it. They were scared to break out of the shell. What do you think would happen to an egg? What do you think would happen to a little chick that's inside of the egg that gets so comfortable in there that it's scared to come out of the egg? What's going to happen? The egg, it's instead of cracking out like normal, one day the chicken's going to get tired of holding its breath in, sucking its stomach in because it got too damn big, and it's going to let the air out. And the shell's going to go poof. You know what I'm saying? And now everybody around it is going to say, that was weird. That was crazy. Eggs don't hatch like that. Chickens don't hatch like that. We're putting you in the special category because that's normal. That's abnormal. That's not normal. It don't happen like that. You feel me? That's what happens. What happens if a woman is too scared to give birth? She just keeps holding the baby in, just holding it in instead of letting it come out. What happens? That baby's gonna come bursting out of her ass. You feel me? And she's gonna deal with more pain then than she would have dealt with if she would have just had let it happen naturally. That's like if you gotta go pee or poop and you just hold it in. She's gonna come bursting out. Now your butt hurts. You know what I mean? Now you got bladder problems because you've been holding shit in. Well, that's what happens with us. You take in so much information and so much knowledge, you start seeking it. And what the Most High said, ask, right? And you shall receive, seek, and you shall find. Now you're carrying all of this fucking baggage. Why would you go around picking up a whole bunch of coins, a whole bunch of money, and filling up your pockets? Now you're carrying 200 pounds worth of money, baggage, and you're a hoarder. You don't want to spend it. You're just carrying it on your body. It's going to start wear and tear at you, right? You got to get rid of it. Either give it away or go spend it. But you can't just keep holding this shit. And that's like a hoarder. That's like a hoarder, someone who has a home. And they just hoard and and in the beginning, okay, they was getting their hands on all kinds of antiques and stuff, right? And he's like, damn, where'd you get that? But after a while, they got the whole house full of antiques. You can't even focus on one thing. It just looks like clutter, right? What did you get all this shit for if you weren't going to do nothing with it? You just become a dirty ass hoarder. When last year, before you had all of this stuff, you were what? An antique collector. See, and that sounds way better than a hoarder with rats, roaches, can't move around in their house. So how do you go from that to that? It's because, well, that's what's going on with us. That shit comes bursting out of you, yo, and you're just holding it in. You feel me? They try to make fun of us in movies with like antisocials. Remember that movie, Me, Myself, and Irene, with Jim Carrey? He had two different personalities, and sometimes his shit he would explode and just start snapping on people. Yeah. Right. People were saying a little slick shit to him and all that. He was holding something in. Well, they would say that he's bipolar and he's schizophrenic and he has all of these disorders. You know? But no. You're holding stuff in too long, buddy. You need to start letting it out. You know, stuff like that. To keep it real though, that is true though. Even somebody who's on semen retention for too long, he'll get frustrated too. So what do you think is going to happen when you have the word of God and there's so many people around you who need it? Well, imagine walking around with your pockets fat full of money and you ain't even spending it, but you're around all of these people who desperately need it and are yearning for it, or they think that they need it and they're yearning for it so bad, you're just holding it in your pocket. You don't think that something's going to start happening to you? Something's going to start happening to you. You feel me? It is. It's not like you don't know you got the money there and you don't know that they want some. It's not like you don't see these people starving. It's not like you don't see little children eating Hot Pockets for dinner. You see it because it's all in our faces. Something's going to start happening to you naturally that you can't control. Why do you think that all these rich people lose their fucking minds? Well, think about it. They know about the world. They see the images over in Africa. They see what's going on in Compton. They see what's going on in Brooklyn and in Bed-Stuy. They see what's going on in Philly. They know what's going on. They know what's going on in New Jersey. They know what's going on in these cities. And they know that these same people, if that don't make it worse, they know that these same people look up to them. Look up to them, love them, when they should fucking hate them. They know that. This is what these people know. Okay? And they see what's going on over in Africa, what's going on over in Kingston, Jamaica. They see all these people living impoverished while they're living in a big house. Chilling, rich, off of these people's money. These people can't afford to be buying some album talking about a bunch of nonsense, but they're buying it. They're buying the last thing that they really need in life. They're buying it and making this person rich. Think about that. These people lose their fucking mind, Joe. They go crazy. They can come out of that big house, hop out that fucking helicopter or that private jet, and all of these poor people will come loving them, worshiping. Can I get your autograph? Trying to shake their hand. Poor people, bro. That's going to do something to you. It's going to fuck you up very bad. It's going to have to. It's going to. Well, guess what? Guess what happens when you sit around and you listen to the truth for too long and you just keep holding it in, and you're living and chilling around amongst people who need it. You're being around people who need it. You're listening to somebody articulate the truth to you so very well. You can honestly say this person must be anointed or something, a messenger or something, but you ain't even shared the video. You didn't even hit the like button. You didn't even tell people around you what you just learned, knowing that they need it. You feel me? You're being selfish. The Most High put a responsibility on you. So while you're sitting there saying he's a messenger, he's this, and so are you. How are you not? If you get the message from me and you articulated the same message that I gave in another, you don't have to say it word for word. You can take it and re-articulate it to someone else. That makes you a messenger, man. How are you not? If they took the Bible and they made it say dust, dot, short, dot, and now you don't understand what Moses is trying to say, or nobody understands what Moses is trying to say, and this turned people off from the Bible. I don't know that thus thou crap. And I heard that all my life. People was like, I don't understand that. Now I can pick up a King James version, read that, and articulate and understand it actually. By the grace of the Most High, understand it and be able to articulate it so that my people can understand it. That makes me a messenger. That means that I'm giving a message. I might not have been prophesying. He was the one prophesying, but I'm at least giving the message that he gave, right? So how could you be taking all of that? How could you be taking all of that understanding and walking around here, hanging around these people, being around these people who need the understanding? Your blood's going to be on their hands. Okay, now let me ask you this, because I started off this by saying that if you don't bank on, if you don't use what the Most High is giving you, you're going to go crazy. Now, could you imagine looking down at your hands and blood just keeps on, every time you look at your hands, blood just on your hands. You don't know where it's coming from. And then you go and wash it off. You go wash it off. Do you remember, I think they had this in a scene in the movie It. Wasn't that in the movie It? Dude was like washing blood off his fucking hands. Oh, wow. You wash your hands and they're crystal clean, and then you're eating your dinner, and then you look back down on your hands again and they're soaked in blood. You go look in the mirror and you've been eating blood. You know they do this in movies, that kind of shit movies, all right, for a reason. They're showing you what you're guilty of, but they're just not going to come out and articulate it to you. You know what you're seeing? It's blood. It's other people's blood. It's on your hands. They're showing you that meat that you've been enjoying, they're showing you in so many ways that you're eating the blood of your own people. The guts, the ground up meat of your own people. They're telling you that you're eating the tormented body of an animal that was killed inhumanely. The people, everybody knows, if you ever see what goes down in those slaughterhouses, I don't care, it can be the worst thug or the gayest motherfucker or the straightest pastor. Anybody, if they see it, they would all agree that this is inhumane now. If you're going to do this, you can find a better way of doing it than this. Right? I mean, they're just straight out treacherous with it. And it's like, and guess what? It's not because they have to be. They're trying to. They want you eating the tormented animal. They want to put the animal through a series of fear, and torture. They want you eating that. They know. That's why they scare the shit out of you before you die. When they get you, they scare the shit out of you before you die. And then they torture you, torment you while they're killing you. It could have been quick, but no, they torment you, and then they eat and drink off you. Eat your heart, eat your organs, eat your brain. For a reason. Somebody tell you this, you're like, whatever. You're still going to eat meat today. You're so stupid. The blood's on your hands. They put that shit in the movies for a reason. You be eating a sandwich, watching TV, and you look down, you be biting it'd be a heart of what? You don't know. It'd be your sandwich will turn into they do this in movies. It'll turn into a raw heart. You
Lost in my own mind. To be the boss, only thoughts with chrome knives. Niggas get tossed up, war scars, battlefield memories. Swore saw the devil in my empty glass.
I'm just letting you know, yo, that's what's going on when you acquire the truth and you don't bank on it. And this is another reason why, see, these devils, they like to put truth out there in adult movies. A child wouldn't understand this movie. They'll just see the visuals of some crazy shit happening. But they put the truth in movies, right? And you don't take the truth. They want to make you guilty of receiving the truth and not acting on it. They want to make you guilty of receiving the truth and not giving it to the children. You know what I'm saying? You watch movies, you talk about how much truth was in it, but did you tell these children? No, you didn't. You sent your child to go get lied to at school. Everyone's guilty of that. Imagine the Most High talking to you the way that I'm talking to you. You couldn't call him wrong. You couldn't say, well, you're wrong. You couldn't. In most cases, you couldn't. He's going to tell you. You received a lot of truth. You never even gave it to You received so much truth and you didn't live on it. You didn't bank on it. And this is in the Bible. Where was that at? Let's start at Ezekiel 33:30. He says, son of dust, your people are whispering behind your back. They talk about you in their houses. and they whisper about you at the doors saying, "Come on, let's have some fun. Let's go hear him tell us what the Lord is saying." So they come as though they are sincere, and they sit before you and they listen. But they have no intention of doing what I tell you to tell them. They talk very sweetly and loving about the Lord, but with their hearts, they are loving their money. You are very entertaining to them, like someone who sings lovely songs with a beautiful voice or who plays well on an instrument. They hear what you say, but they don't pay any attention to it. But when all of these terrible things do happen to them, as they will, then they will know that a prophet was among them. That's tough, ain't it? It's a tough pill for them to swallow, and Ezekiel himself, because when he sees it going down, he's not going to feel like, "I told you so." It's going to be too terrible for him to even feel that way. He's going to feel bad. I know. He's going to feel bad. Sometimes you might get caught up in the moment thinking, "I'm going to be like, I told you so to that motherfucker." But every now and then, you get a reality check to know that for a fact that it's going to be too terrible for you to even feel that way about this person. You're not going to feel like I told you so. So anyway, y'all, I'm going to wrap this one up. But I'll tell you like this. If the Most High is putting something on your heart, if you don't do it, and you continue, if you half-ass with it, you take baby steps, you're going to be considered crazy. You are going to be crazy. You're going to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? You can't stay around those people. You can't stay around people. Because one of the things that the Most High is doing for a fact is he is excluding you from people. He is. You can't stay away from them. He's not keeping you around your friends and family. He's not. Not you. Not the real one. I mean, there's probably somebody listening to this that has a great relationship with friends and family. I'm not talking to you. You know what I mean? But even you, do have a responsibility to take the truth and apply it to your life. You can't just listen to these videos and not listen to what a person said. Now, I done told people things. Nobody wants to listen to me. Like, it's so far-fetched when I tell you to stop sending your DNA off to put it in the dirt. The Most High told me to tell you that. It seems so far. It doesn't seem far-fetched to me. I just been doing it. But I feel so far-fetched even telling this to people. Like I shouldn't be telling them that though, because I know that they're not going to listen to that. You know what I mean? Like, I know that that's something that they just won't get. They can't. But I know that the Most High told me to tell you. And I'm going to tell you over and over. You know, it's like, what can a messenger tell you if he's telling you what you already know? Well, think about that. Well, what can a messenger tell you if he's telling you what you already expect him to say? What can he tell you if you can say, well, that's crazy? That's asking a little too much. Then what does a messenger of God look like if you yourself can create him and make him, and you already know the words that are supposed to come out of his mouth?
Instrumental.